Good afternoon. I know I'm hot stuff, I guess. I don't know. I'd like you to take your seats right now so we can get started. And for Mayor Tammy's presentation, I know that's what you're here for, and as always, we look forward to that. I'm Brad Hoagland, former member of the Meridian City Council. Loving this city that I grew up in, and just as you are, no matter how long you've been, you know that this is a great place to live, work, and raise your family, and I'm glad you're here today. There's some exciting things that you're going to hear about our city, and we're looking forward to that, but before we begin, I'd like to do some introductions here. We have a great group of city leaders, and many of them are present today. A few couldn't make it, but I'm going to introduce them. I'd ask you to hold your applause to after they've all stood, but I want to introduce Meridian City Council President Joe Borton, City Councilman Luke Kavanagh, City Councilman Genesis Milam, City Councilman Ty Palmer. Gentlemen, you can stand as you're introduced. City Councilwoman Ann Little Roberts, and our newest City Council member, Treg Burnt. Please stand and be recognized. And there's also another great group of people who serve our community and the citizens that are here. They're very, very dedicated. They take on a lot of responsibility. And I know firsthand the job that they do, and they do it very well and with a lot of heart and passion. And that is our city department directors. And if our city department heads would please stand and be recognized. And there's another group of people that really give generously of their time. They don't get paid to do this. They do it because they enjoy their community. They want to make it better and provide their expertise to things that help everyone else. And those are the men and women that take the time to hold positions and seats on our city's boards, councils, and commissions. And it's very valuable. They are a very valuable asset to our community. We appreciate that. And we also have a large number of volunteers, people who take their time to help the city. Sometimes you'll see them at City Hall sitting out front to direct people to the city departments. But we appreciate that effort, that time that they put in at no cost. They do it because they love their community. If you are on a board, commission, council, or a volunteer for the City of Meridian, please rise so we can recognize you as well. We're fortunate to have several other current and former elected city officials, mayors, council members, law enforcement leaders, fire officials from our neighboring cities in attendance, and from the City of Meridian, who are former elected officials and council members and department heads. So if you are in attendance, we'd like to recognize you, so please stand. And of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the mayor's biggest fan club that's here, her family. So if her family would please rise, we want to recognize you. And of course, to put on an event like this, of this magnitude, takes a lot of sponsors and effort. And we want to thank those that are on the screen and the members who donated generously to put this on and to help out with the Taste of Meridian, but we have CapEd Credit Union, Power Engineers, City, Ameriben, United Heritage Insurance, First Interstate Bank, Brighton Corporation, Intermountain Gas, CBH Homes, Micro 100, D.L. Evans Bank, Republic Services, and Idaho Power, along with several others that are recognized on the screen. Let us give them a round of applause for their support. We'll now have the posting of the colors by the Joint Meridian Police and Fire Honor Guard. This will be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Meridian City Council President Joe Borton, and the singing of the national anthem and the invocation by Pastor Mark Thornton of Capital Church. Please rise.
Face. Present arms.
Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Post. Left face. Forward march.
If you would please remain standing and bow your head as we pray. Father God, we thank you that you're an awesome God and a faithful God, and we're grateful for your hand of blessing on this amazing city. We see your characteristics, your love, and your sense of community and servanthood from our mayor's office, through our churches, through our politicians, our businesses, through our schools, and through our residents. And we just want to tell you, God, that we are grateful for your presence. We thank you for all that you've done. We believe that we live in the greatest city in the most amazing state, and we're blessed and we're honored that we can come together and celebrate what you've done throughout this last year, but even more importantly, give you permission to bless us and to guide us as we move into the future. We believe that you have great things in store for our community and everybody that's involved in the community, so we just ask for your hedge of protection. We ask for your guidance. We ask for your presence to be with us. And today, Lord, as we gather here together, we pray for your grace and your blessings upon the mayor, and as she shares, and everybody else that has something to say, we pray that it would be from your heart for us, and we give you all the glory and praise. We thank you for your presence in the city of Meridian, and we love you and we bless you. In Jesus' name, amen. You may be seated.
I failed to introduce him as the very talented Pastor Mark Thornton. Well, believe it or not, this is Mayor Tammy's 15th year as the mayor of Meridian. In fact, I can remember being in her early meetings talking about her very first campaign when she ran for mayor. And I think we were in our 20s back then. Okay, late 20s, whatever. But her service to this city began well before that time. She served on the city council and helped to create the Meridian Parks and Recreation Commission because as a mother, she saw a need for more open space and recreation in our community. And if you know Mayor Tammy, you know that she has a servant's heart. And that can be seen in the countless hours that she devotes to this community, the passion that she has for the residents and their well-being. She does have a true passion for this city, and it shows, and we do appreciate that. So I really am proud to introduce our Mayor Tammy, how do you pronounce that last name?
Do you know anything about our city government? Who runs the city?
I know they're doing a great job, I can tell you that much. As far as that, anything else, I don't really know.
I know the mayor's name, and that's about it.
And what is our mayor's name?
Tammy DeWeird.
I know it's a female, but I don't know her name, no. Tammy... I don't know how to pronounce the last name, so I don't want to butcher it.
Oh, give it a good try.
DeWeird? How long has she been the mayor?
Like 8 months.
8 months?
I'm not sure.
Probably 2 to 4 years. I don't know. I don't know how long the term is.
Who is the mayor of Meridian?
The mayor is my sister, Mayor Tammy
Okay. How do you say her last name?
DeVeard.
Tammy DeVeard.
The mayor of Meridian, that is Tammy DeVeard. I can spell it too. Yeah, it's really important that you're in the Mayor Tammy DeVeard Club, that you understand how to spell her last name. So if her first name is Tammy and her last name, it's a lowercase d-e before Veard. If it's Mrs. or Mayor DeVeard, then it's a capital D-E. Yeah, you have to know which one's which.
Mayor Tammy.
Mayor Tammy.
Mayor Tammy. Mayor Tammy.
Mayor Tammy.
Mayor Tammy.
Mayor Tammy, Mayor Tammy, I love you, Mayor Tammy.
Well, I guess that answers my question. So ladies and gentlemen, here's Mayor Tammy.
Thank you. I'm so excited to talk about our rising star, Meridian. A rising star theme might surprise some of you. It did my husband. He said, "That's old news. People already think that Meridian is a star with the accolades it's received." That's true. Meridian once again received recognition for best places and safest places by publications like Money Magazine, US Today, and Wallet Hub. It's easy to forget sometimes how good we really have it. This past year, we had a North American business magazine that reached out to do a feature on Meridian. The reporter, calling from back east, paused during our interview. He told me the information and the statistics that he had on Meridian almost seemed unreal. The reporter titled his article, "A Rising Star." That's perfect. We live, work, and raise our families in an amazing place, and there's more on the horizon. Meridian. A rising star indeed. This was evident in the citizen survey results that we received early last summer. 93% of our residents indicated the city exceeds their expectations as a place to raise a family. 92% rated Meridian as an excellent place to live, with 91% saying they have an overall feeling of safety living in Meridian. To say we were pleased is an understatement. In the 3 years since we last surveyed citizens, we improved results in 64 of 84 areas. The complete report is on our website. Last summer, we heard from a resident thanking the mayor and city council for guiding Meridian as a wonderful place to work and live. She wrote about her caring neighbors, citing several examples of her residents pulling together to build a ramp for a father that broke his back, and numerous stories of acts of kindness during last winter's snow event. Examples of why she enjoys living here. Our rising stars are our neighbors, working together, providing a foundation for a community that cares. Our many business partners are rising stars. They are generous and engaged, like our State of the City sponsors, funding youth scholarships and events like this, bringing us all together. Our rising stars are our employees, our senior leadership team, and our city council members. Focus on the needs of our citizens in the Meridian way, providing care in a timely, friendly, professional, and solution-oriented manner. We have a few new faces on our leadership team. We welcome Dell Boathouse in our Public Works Department, Cameron Ariel in Community Development, and our newest City Council member, Trey Burnt, filled the seat of Keith Bird, who retired after 20 years of serving our community. Please join me in welcoming these new leaders. As the adage goes, you can only manage what you measure. We continue to make steady progress in our 5 strategic focus areas: strategic growth, economic vibrancy, responsive government, safe, healthy, and secure, and arts, culture, and recreation. Each year I share information in each of these areas. Let us begin. Strategic focus area number 1, strategic growth. Strategic growth requires good planning. We master plan everything, from city utilities to land use, and parks and open space to our comprehensive financial plan. This planning is critical to managing land development and maintaining levels of service. The challenge inherent to our center of the valley location is accommodating the valley's vehicles, including our own, and a 385 square mile large school district that serves 5 cities and parts of 2 counties. Our city survey cited growth, roads, and schools as the top 3 areas to focus on. Based on conversations throughout my listening tours, the biggest issue they said with growth is the impact to our schools and our roads. The roads are managed by Ada County Highway District, ACHD, and the Idaho Transportation Department, ITD, and the schools by West Ada School District. We plan and collaborate at the staff and administrative levels, and to further improve this coordination, our City Council recognizes their role and the need to meet with the elected officials of ACHD and West Ada. We will be organizing these meetings because there's plenty to talk about. Next month, our voters will be asked to weigh in on 2 ballot measures pertaining to our schools to address overcrowding and class sizes. Now keep in mind, the state of Idaho is constitutionally mandated to provide adequate funding for operations and, I believe, buildings. Yet they don't, at least not enough. That is why we have a bond for school buildings and a levy for operations on the ballot. Idaho, please invest in your kids. I have always supported our kids and their future, and will do so again on March 13th. But moving forward, we've got to fix this. Property taxes should not have to fill the gaps. Therefore, I will continue to advocate with our state leaders to step up their mandated funding for our schools. In transportation, ACHD wrapped up a 2-mile widening of U-Stick from Locust Grove to Linder. The next project in that area will widen Linder from U-Stick north to Chinden. Design is underway and construction will begin next year. We have serious needs on Chinden, State Highway 2026. This regional roadway is managed by the state's ITD. They have scheduled improvements, but not until 2021, and only a 1-mile segment. Developers have been working towards a public-private solution to widen Chinden 6 miles from Eagle to McDermott before 2021. City Council will determine if these proposed developments with this local solution fit their vision for the Chinden corridor later this spring. Where development happens and what it looks like is top of mind for many in our community. Whether one views growth as good or not, we all agree it must be well planned. We're beginning an 18-month process in March to update the city's comprehensive plan. The last plan was adopted in 2002 and updated 6 years ago. Many of the people who lived there then don't live here now. And those that live here and work here, we hope they will get involved. Our area of impact is 66 square miles, and we occupy half of that. We have a real opportunity to plan Meridian of tomorrow. In the middle of our city lies the Union Pacific Railroad corridor, one of the most important and underutilized corridors in the state. It is not only critical to moving freight, but it must be planned now for future uses. There are many opportunities for moving people in this corridor, on foot, on bike, in buses or commuter vans. This is a focus area for Meridian and our neighbors from Caldwell to Boise. The location of jobs and services are also critical to the comprehensive plan. They must be closer to where people live. So we will be looking at employment clusters and transitional land uses, which leads me to strategic focus area number 2, economic vibrancy. The numbers are in, and Meridian's economy continues to thrive. We saw over 2,800 new jobs this last year, and the largest sector increase was in healthcare. Not only did this sector gain more jobs, the increase in wages averaged more than $4,200. New construction permits increased by 29% in residential and 36% in commercial. We saw a spike in the market values of new commercial, increasing over 49% this last year. 10-mile crossing near I-84 and 10 Mile was a rising star, with the opening of a Maribel and the start of construction on a second building for Paylocity and Horrocks Engineers. And I'm pleased to announce Brighton Corporation will be breaking ground this March on another 4-story office building, which will be their home. The good news is this is a result of growth of these businesses. Exciting news on the job front. The Village at Meridian continues to be a shining star, rising even higher. Their restaurants and retail set new records, and businesses experience strong year-over-year sales growth. In 2017, they welcomed 3 new office tenants, bringing 40 jobs, with plans to double over this next year. They added several new retailers and now are at 90% occupancy. The Village has attracted a first-of-its-kind residential component for Meridian. This planned active adult development will overlook our Kleiner Park. The upscale facility will have 4 stories of residential and a spacious clubhouse, another exciting project by Brighton Corporation. The Idaho College of Osteopathic Medicine, ICOM, Idaho's first medical school, moved their applicant status of last year to pre-accreditation this year. They broke ground on their $94,000 square foot home last spring in Meridian, next to Idaho State University. They will open this fall with a class of 150 students. It is a real testament that ICOM went from concept to accreditation to opening their doors in 2 years. Hats off to everyone on this remarkable achievement, and it took a village, from the governor to the state legislature to our city council members and community development team, and most importantly, ICOM's Dean, Dr. Robert Hasty, and his team are rising stars in our community. Now that deserves applause. This last year, we welcomed several new businesses to Meridian, and we're excited to see a few of our Meridian businesses already here expand. Just look at that list and see who's investing in Meridian. It's quite impressive. Our downtown saw several locally owned businesses open their doors, but also a few closed. But the energy is there. The activities continue to rise with new ideas and new people getting involved. The new Ventures Lab is full and home to 12 companies with 29 employees. Meridian Cycles moved locations to Maine and Washington, and they have larger space with greater possibilities. The new Frontier Club changed ownership, and the new owner has made a number of improvements, most notably his outdoor dining area. And Josh Everett's Main and Broadway project is being rescoped at this time. He and his wife Lori, they remain huge contributors to our old town. While our downtown continues to evolve, sometimes it needs to return to its roots. The Zamzows Mill has been an icon in Meridian for decades. They are currently working with our Arts Commission to add a mural reflecting the agricultural roots of our community. Later this year, they will be recreating an old-fashioned feed store with farming equipment from yesteryear. This historical makeover will be in the front space that at one time housed their Zamzows. Downtown is also getting an improved entry corridor. This began work already on Pine Street. Working together, MDC and ACHD, we will see a full rebuild from Main to Locust Grove, widened to 3 full lanes with connected and detached sidewalks. Certainly a welcome addition to our downtown. Strategic focus area number 3, responsive government. Part of being responsive is also to engage. For the second year, our teens were engaged in an outreach program called participatory budgeting. With involvement of City Council Joe Borton, our council president, support from our City Council and our Parks team, our teens in the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council have exciting news to tell you about. Michaela George is here to report about this program.
Thanks, Mayor Tammy. What a year it has been for the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council participatory budgeting. It all began behind these doors as we voted on a project to be funded by the city.
The City Council has blessed MIAC with the opportunity to participate in the city's budget, and we have $20,000 this year to spend on a project of our choosing. So, that being said, you guys are the panel.
We've launched the program with our youth council, and we've given them the framework for creating initial ideas and investigating those ideas through the fall and the winter, and then in the spring, the youth council creates a ballot and then eventually has an election where they vote and they select the item to be funded in their community. And what's wonderful about participatory budgeting is the ideas are truly organic. The group that you utilize the program with create the ideas.
This year's ideas range from adding streetlights, building more free libraries like the one at City Hall, creating an intergenerational garden for kids and seniors, and more.
You know, to me, the process has done a number of things. Not only to make our youth advisory councils more aware of the budgeting process for the city as a whole, but to start talking to their peers to better understand what do teens want to see in their community. And then it also gives them ownership, it gives them greater awareness as to what things cost and what the process is. So it creates more engaged citizens.
After months of investigations, presentations, and planning and a final vote, the winning project selected is a Memorial Plaza in Kleiner Park.
So I came up with this idea as a way to commemorate my grandfather. He had served in the Korean War, and I really admire him a lot. So Lance and I came up with this idea to place all the people's family members around the Meridian area. That way we can really show the history of Meridian in one central location.
The total cost of the project is $18,851 and includes sidewalks, brick pavers, sandstone benches, and trees provided by the Meridian Parks and Recreation Department.
The best part of participatory budgeting is probably the unintended consequence, and that is the building citizens for the future.
The public will soon have the opportunity to purchase a brick for the Memorial Plaza here at Kleiner Park near the Rock of Honor. This is a great way for our generation to honor past generations in the area. Thanks, and back to you, Mayor Tammy.
Construction on the Memorial Plaza began last fall. Bricks will soon be available to purchase. As well, a ribbon cutting will be held May 2nd to celebrate this project, inspired and led by our teens. In responsive government, transparency and ease of getting information is important. Our financials are easier to access from any electronic device anywhere using OpenGov. The public has streamlined access to City Council documents by using Notice Agenda. And we launched an online portal that made public records requests easier to ask for. Public noticing for development hearings have been expanded using the Nextdoor app. By using this app, we are able to inform more people about developments that might impact them. We are also working to add an area on our website homepage to view development applications that are currently in the public hearing process. Thanks to technology upgrades to City Council chambers, we now have improved online streaming. On February 1st, we officially launched streaming our commission meetings in addition to our city council meetings. We are also exploring ways to use technology to expand and take public comment virtually at city council meetings. As I wrap up this focus area, a quick update on the courtroom issue. This stems from a court order issued in '94 to provide a courtroom. We presented a building plan to the courts in January, and we are proposing to use the former City Hall site on Idaho Avenue. We are waiting for their decision on our proposal. However, I will say that Meridian, along with Ada County, support a legislative approach to end this 24-year issue. The proposal is the result of a group of counties and cities led by the Idaho Court Administrator. They are recommending to use new growth revenue to help pay for courts. This is perfect because it requires the state, our counties, and our cities to all pay a share rather than just one more burden on your property taxes. We need you to call your legislators because we need their support. Strategic focus area number 4, safe, healthy, secure. Meridian continues to be listed as one of the safest cities in Idaho and the nation. As of 2 weeks ago, we were named once again among the safest in Idaho, accolades we've been receiving the last decade. Response time standards were set for the fire department last year, and just last month, we set the police standards. This gives our public safety departments important areas to measure and assess, providing information to City Council that will help determine when to add new fire stations or police officers. Our police department's culture was highlighted this year by an international police organization. They recognized the culture of and the community relationships of our department as one that others across the globe can learn from.
The culture that we have established is something that we've worked on for the last 10 years. We have a certain set expectations and we have a certain level of service that we want to provide, and we think we do a great job doing that. One of the things I realized when I became chief in 2007 is that we needed to make some changes, some adjustments, and I wanted those adjustments to come because it was the right thing to do, not because they were forced.
What's very unique about our culture here is the people that we work with, the environment that we create within our agency. We focus on positivity, we focus on self-growth, making sure that we grow as individuals, not only in our professional life, but also on our personal life.
But I think one of the most unique things that I hear from people from the outside coming in is how friendly our officers are. It really is kind of that family atmosphere.
I enjoy going to work every single day, and I leave work with a positive feeling that I did good and that I've made a difference for the community in that day. Our command staff does a good job at hiring people that are lighthearted and have good personalities, people that want to make a change in the community. It's going to have a positive reflect on everyone at the end of the day.
The message that we're giving our officers, they're listening and they're embracing it. And when we're telling our officers that you're here to serve and we want you to go out and we want you to provide that highest quality of service, that is exactly what they're doing on a daily basis.
We did a recent survey and the community was super pleased with us as a police department. We're like in the top 90 percentile in regards to how the police responds to calls.
We're proud to call ourselves a values-based organization. We have a certain set of values that we hold dearly, and we hold people to those values, and those are the same values that we set our expectations to.
Our police are always looking for ways to improve and to better serve. This last year, they partnered with the Ada County paramedics in training all officers to effectively use trauma kits to help save lives, as they are usually the first on scene. Every officer now carries a kit that has medical supplies and tourniquets to assist people suffering severe trauma. This program was led by Lieutenant Sean Harper, who has successfully been using tourniquets in the field for a number of years and advocated for the trauma kits. In addition to the kits, we now have AEDs on 24 police cars and 14 more on the way, which will give us 100% coverage. Meridian Fire is also focused on tools for better outcomes. The department and other Ada County public safety agencies launched the Pulse Point application this last spring. The goal is to increase the chances of cardiac arrest survival by partnering with you, our citizens. The mobile phone app notifies citizen users of where emergencies are occurring and if CPR is needed. If you are CPR trained, download this app and help us save lives. Meridian Fire's approach to partnership has many benefits, including financial ones. In October, they began designing Fire Station number 6, the first fire station to be built in the last 9 years. As you can imagine, times have changed, and so has the cost. Meridian partnered with Caldwell, who is also planning a fire station. Through this collaboration, a savings of approximately $55,000 in phase 1 of the design process was realized. Public safety and health also extends to our utilities. The wastewater division obtained a new federal permit for operations, the first since 1999. The permit regulations determine current and future standards. We now have 4 times the sample rate, equating to over 1,000 samples per week, some requiring testing constituents as parts per trillion resolution. As part of these new testing requirements, we now need to prove that a flea, a minnow, and algae are able to grow and reproduce within a water sample taken from our discharge into 5 Mile Creek. I'd like to acknowledge Lorelei McVeigh and the Wastewater Operations Group, who have been able to implement, develop, and create the permit milestones, plans, and reports themselves, saving the department $155,000. They too are our rising stars. Last year we had a historical event at our wastewater plant that could have turned out very bad. We faced a sewer tsunami without major incident. During the snow melt of Snowmageddon, we received flows that were nearly 5 times higher than the normal peak flow rates, meaning we processed 18 million gallons in a 24-hour period at a facility that usually treats 7 million. Safe, healthy, secure is a huge priority for our Public Works Department because this was an all-hands-on-deck event. Another example of safe, healthy, and secure is the Hill Project. This 22.5-acre campus will be the hub for education, recreation, wellness, and literacy in South Meridian. The city, the YMCA, St. Luke's, West Ada, and the Meridian School District have come together to build a facility that will serve as a model for communities across the country. The official opening of this project, including Hillsdale Park, has been set for May 25th. Now, this will be one big celebration. The opening of the Meridian Library District's temporary space will be sometime in June. Please join me in congratulating this project for moving forward. And lastly, strategic focus area number 5, arts, culture, and recreation. There's so much to talk about in this area, and I will try to minimize the topics. Story Bark Park was recognized as one of the top dog parks in the valley. We also saw West Ada Recreation District open their remodeled and expanded pool just next to our dog park. We cut the ribbon on 2 park locations this year in North Meridian, the Rita Husky Park and the Keith Bird Legacy Park. Both parks were made possible by land donations by developers. They are themed to the names that they honor, bringing recreational opportunities to this part of our growing community. In addition to the opening of Hillsdale Park in South Meridian, we will begin construction on what will be our largest city park, just off of Lake Hazel Road. The City Council has 4 names for the park that they want our public to weigh in on. Now, I'm really excited to see what our kids have to say. The full build-out of this park will take a number of years and a number of phases. Last year, the Historical Preservation Commission brought you a historic walking tour app, and this year, the Meridian Arts Commission put together a public art digital tour. This online interactive map is a great way to find the locations of public art in Meridian and learn more about them. Pathways and their connections continue to be important to our community. This last year, we were able to continue our expansion of the 5-mile creek pathway with 2 quarter-mile segments. And there are more to come in 2018. We're planning a ribbon cutting on April 4th, along with a bike tour, and we hope you will join us. Parks and pathways are important to our residents. So take a listen to what they have to say about what makes Meridian a rising star.
What do you like most about Meridian?
Well, personally, I feel very blessed and fortunate to live here. The best part about Meridian are the people and the community spirit that is here and the willingness that people have to help one another. And I think that's very unique to Meridian. That's not everywhere.
What I really like about Meridian is how much the growth is really helping out with our community. Like with the village right here in Kleiner Park, like all these amazing parks that we can come to and just really explore, and the different splash pads for the kids to play in. It's really a nice community area here.
Love the little downtown city. There's cute little restaurants. It's quaint. It can be more quiet and peaceful and rural feeling.
There's great parks, and I mean the village is phenomenal. And everything's so clean here. It's just, I love it.
I love that Meridian's a family-friendly place. It's all sorts of activities to do. I've got 4 children, so we're always busy doing something in Meridian somewhere. There's so many opportunities.
I have 3 kids, and they love coming to the parks. We love the splash pad here. We love Settlers Park. They keep the parks nice and clean, and the parks employees are great. They're very accommodating and kind anytime we're at the park. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. We love it here.
What I love is it's such a nice community. It's a friendly community. It's been pitched by the city, but it's really true. It is a great place to not just live, not just work, but to raise my family.
Wow, I love everything about Meridian. I love our leadership. I love the environment. I love the atmosphere. I love the community, just the feel of family and belonging. It's the greatest place that I've ever lived in my life.
And there's more to love. Family entertainment options were expanded this last year with choices like Urban Air and the new Jump Time facility. But did you know that we have a nationally ranked attraction? We do. The Roaring Springs in Wahoo's Family Fun Center. They have welcomed millions to Meridian over their 20 years of ownership as they continue to grow their amenities. I am pleased to share they aren't done yet. They will be making improvements to their kiddie pool, soon to be known as Barefoot Bay, with 3 new slides and 20 play elements. They are also expanding their Wahoo's Event Center from a facility that can seat 200 to one that seats 600 and can be divided into 10 smaller rooms for meetings and receptions. Construction on this Galaxy Event Center should be completed this year. It's a combined $6.1 million project. Now, this expansion will bring needed space to hold events. This is a huge demand for West Ada County, for Meridian, to have event space and conference space. For years, there has been talk about a Meridian Auditorium District by businesses, nonprofits, and residents, ultimately filling the hotels whose bed tax will pay for it. The Meridian Chamber and its partners have defined the need and are developing a plan. I hope you will support them as they look forward and look to create a Meridian Auditorium District. While some legacies are yet to be written, others have been formed. Which brings me to today's Legacy Award recipient. This year's recipient has built a personal legacy on kindness, humility, and hard work. 20 years ago, he made a huge investment in Meridian and in kids, and he continues to build on that to this day. Our recipient created one of my and Idaho's favorite tourist destinations and is a huge employer of young people. He, his wife, and their companies have been active for decades, supporting the Boys and Girls Club, Birds of Prey, and more. Throughout his career and businesses, his service and generosity, his leadership and quiet friendships, he has made a large impact. He has helped put Meridian on the map as a destination, given countless opportunities to our youth. Please join me in congratulating our 2018 Mayor's Legacy Award recipient, Tom Nicholson. I'm really glad to see he was very surprised.
I am blown away with this award. Thank you so much. It's not me, it's our team effort and the people working together so hard. Pat is Pat Morandi, the fellow that runs Wahoo's Pins, the water park, and everything else in that recreation combat. Works his tail off. He just 7 days a week if needed. I want to thank the Russell Corporation for all that they've done in helping us out and planning, and they're at the head of both of the new projects we're doing. The new water pool will be for kids and young toddlers. Over at the Wahoos, we're building that convention center, which we think will really be a big benefit to the community. But I can't thank you enough, and I'm blown away by this award. I had no idea this was coming, but thank you all again. I surely appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, isn't that the sign of a leader, always deflecting to someone else? Certainly, it's been a pleasure working with people like Tom Nicholson, Keith Bird, David Turnbull, and the many others I've been able to recognize over the years. They have a passion for our community, as do I. I very much enjoy serving this community, and with your blessing and support, I would like to continue to do so. I love being your mayor, and we have work to do and projects to complete. So, five strategic areas, 5 Olympic rings. We are rising for the Rising Star for the gold in 2018. Thank you for joining us.